Looking to find out what you should be doing on your website to help you get more jobs? This is part one of a two-part series where we're going to talk about the important elements you need to have on your website to help you win more jobs.
This isn't just any podcast. This is your secret weapon for dominating the market.
This is the Restoration Marketing Secrets Podcast, and this is your host, Sean McMeen.
Hello, everybody. This is Sean McMeen, your host of the Restoration Marketing Secrets Podcast, and today is Sunday, September 3rd, and this is episode number 8. This is going to be a two-part series that I'm going to do, and it might turn into 3 parts. Who knows? We're spitballing here as far as the number of episodes we're doing, but what I want to communicate to you is important elements that you need to have on your restoration website. And if you're in the home services space, you're looking to get into restoration, these are important elements you should be considering when you have a website that promotes your business. You always want to think of your website as the hub of your online activity. Think about it this way. Would you ever show up to a home with a crappy looking truck? Would you ever hire somebody that has a crappy looking vehicle? Or if you're going to a retail space or another office space, another business, and it looks like crap, and would you ever go there? Maybe, but if you don't know them, you don't trust them, there's a good likelihood they're going to move on and choose somebody else if you're not getting those trust signals that are going to make you feel more comfortable doing business with them. And you need to treat your website the same way. Way too many times I see damage restoration websites and home service companies, and they just kind of throw up a page, and that is okay to start with. You clearly want to have a website page when you start a business, but as you continue to do work, you need to reinvest back into that. And I'm not saying that you need to be spending a ton of money and a ton of time on your website out of the gate. That's the most important thing is here. You want to make sure you're investing in the right things to lay that foundation for you for long-term success. And one of the things that I see is that it's all good to start that website with a GoDaddy page or whatever you want to do to start that page. You have to start somewhere, right? And that's all well and good. But once you start getting a couple jobs and you start growing your business, you start getting a couple reviews online, you need to make sure your online presence represents who you are as a business. So here are some important elements that I feel you need to definitely take a look at if you've been in business for any length of time and you have some funds coming in. By all means, if you're just starting out, put up a web page, put on your services that you're offering, your contact information, and a photo of you and your truck or your team. But once you're established, these are some of the elements you need to look at. Even if you're just starting out, this is one of the most important things. Your phone number has to be plastered all over your website. Now, I'm not saying just random hodgepodge, but what I'm saying is at the top right of your page, the natural eye tendency is for the human to look left to right. And as you scroll down, that top header of your page, you should have a logo at the top left and your phone number at the top right, always present, 24/7 emergency services, those types of things. And that phone number should not leave there as you scroll down. There's ways that you can set that page up so that when that visitor scrolls down your page, they never lose sight of that phone number. And that's an important element that you never want to have somebody go trying to search for your phone number when they see something on your page that actually gets them to call you. So one of the most important elements is that phone number should always be visible at the top right. You can do this with many website builders. We use a combination of WordPress and a software called Duda, D-U-D-A, for our websites. And these platforms allow you to have that, it's called a sticky header at the top, right? And so your logo stays at the top left, your menu's in the middle, and your phone number's on the right. The other thing is on mobile. Most of the time, if somebody has an emergency, they're going to be picking up their phone. They're not going to be on the desktop, right? So you have to make sure your mobile view test. Go ahead and pull up your website right now, type in your URL, and test and see if your logo is up there along with your phone number. And as you scroll down that page, does your phone number stay up there? If it doesn't, you need to take a look at that immediately, because you want to make it super easy for people to call you. So that's the first element that I always look for when I'm evaluating a website, is that phone number present. The next thing I look for is trust signals. And these are reviews, your certifications, any sort of awards, any sort of Better Business Bureau certification, Home Advisor if you're using that, Angie's List. There's lots of different symbols and certifications and things like that. If you're certified IICRC, obviously you want to have that. Any sort of contractor certification. You want to give people that trust at the beginning of when they're looking at your company, that people recommend you based on your reviews on Google, Facebook, Yelp, all those other places. And you want to give them the matter of fact that you're a professional with your certifications. Have these top and present at the top of the page, and that will help you convert more deals. That'll help you at least get people to call you. And the other element you want to do with reviews is at the bottom of the footer of the page, you want to have this element that has all your reviews shown there, that is on every single page. So as you go to your service page or your contact page or wherever, those reviews are always there. And the reviews you want to have that gold star. You want to make sure that stands out. Just like if you were to go out on Amazon and look for a product, you're not going to go purchase a product that doesn't have any reviews. And this gives you that social proof. It gives you that trust, that warm and fuzzy, that this company is recommended by other people, and that gold star, that 100% works. We have proven this by, we take, there's a software that we use that we install on our clients' websites to look and see, like when somebody visits that page, it actually follows their mouse and sees where their mouse, kind of like a heat map type thing, sort of like if when you're scanning, for looking for moisture. It sort of looks like that, but you can see where the mouse scrolls, and you can see the mouse will hover over the phone number. It'll hover over those reviews. It'll hover over your photos of your team, those types of things. And those elements are incredibly important to give those trust and professionalism, warm and fuzzies, if you want to call it that. The next element that we're going to cover here is what's called form to call automation. And this goes back to the number one element of phone number. So you get their phone number present. Many people will contact you in different ways. And some people will pick up the phone. Some people will text you. Some people will want to email you. What we do on all of our websites is make sure we have a form, a simplistic form that gives people the ability to contact you if they don't want to pick up the phone for various reasons. There's different age groups. There's a whole different, methodology around how people communicate nowadays via text. And I don't know about you, but my kids communicate with me over text all the time, and these messages get long, right? When you could they're down and they're in their room on the next floor, right? So anyway, but form to call automation is one of these features that we implement for all of our clients, where somebody fills out a form. That form will automatically, within 10 seconds, you will get a phone number to your main office number, and it will repeat back to you what was filled out on the form. And then you can choose to press 1 to directly call out to that person that submitted the form. So think of it this way. This form has several elements on it. It has a drop-down menu of what type of services you offer: water damage restoration, fire, mold, kitchen remodeling, roofing, whatever those elements are. They select that, why they're contacting you. They put their simple area for them to put their name, their phone number, their email address, and a message that what they need help with. And you might think, well, it's an emergency, they're going to pick up the phone. I see this all the time where people will submit a form and get a job based on this feature. And so what happens when they click submit, the automations in the background will take that information and it will call your office, and it'll say, John Smith needs help with water damage restoration. and then it'll read off that message. I had a flood in my basement. I need someone to come out and help me with this. I'm looking for an estimate type thing. And then the system will say, press 1 to connect. And so within 10 seconds of that person submitting that form, you're getting a phone call, and you choose whether you connect to them or not. Now, if somebody submits that form and they're doing this in the middle of the night and they're asking for mold, you're probably not going to press 1 and connect with them, because they can wait till the next morning, right? But you can choose how you do that. You can choose when the automation comes in, whether it goes in or night. You can choose whether, if it's water damage, I want to have that come in 24/7. You could choose, if they select mold, it's not 24/7, those types of things. So that's what we call form to call automation. And it really came from I believe it started in the auto industry, where you'd go to like cars.com or some sort of website like that, and you fill out a form for an estimate on a car, and then these salespeople would call you up real quick as soon as you submitted that form on there. And so we are not used car salesmen by any means, but this helps alleviate that gap between that form getting submitted and you going to check your email, and then you typing in the phone number to call them, and so on and so forth, or your team. Either way, this helps alleviate that gap, and it is an amazing way to get in front of them possibly going off and submitting a form with somebody else. It really helps automate that process just by the name, form to call automation. So those are 3 important elements that part 1 of this series is going to talk about. In the next series, I'm going to share with you 3 other commonly missed things that will really help you crush it on your online presence. And these are related to your website. These 3 elements many people do not do, and you're truly missing out. So listen to the next episode on this tomorrow. For now, this is Sean McMeen. Thanks again for following along this journey, and I will talk to you tomorrow.
You've been listening to the Restoration Marketing Secrets Podcast.
Sean's not here to just talk the talk. He's walked the walk. With a track record of helping over 70 damage restoration companies and engaging in over 500 conversations with industry owners, he's seen it all. From digital marketing triumphs to the most ingenious growth hacks, he's got the keys to the kingdom, and he's sharing them with you. We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon. But in the meantime, for more, hit the website at restorationmarketing.com. See you next time on the Restoration Marketing Secrets Podcast.